yesterday didn't go well for Jimmy. There was supposed to be a red wave. There was not a red wave. So we
Yep.
pulled some strings, and we actually have the president of the United States with us tonight to brag and boast about his accomplishments. So the
Fellow
most
Puerto Rican. I'm glad.
fellow Puerto Rican, the most popular president in the history of the world with 82 million votes, the most articulate,
Boricua.
handsome, ladies' man, and a great president overall, President Joe Biden. Mr. Biden, are you there?
I'm thrilled. We took back the house, man.
Yeah.
For real. We swept all 54 states. All 54 states. All of them.
You did, sir, and wow, that's congratulations. Your party did real well.
Well, you ain't black, man. You hear me? I mean, here's the deal. It's an honor to be your senator from Indiana and to work with the president, the black man, the black guy, great guy. You know the thing, man. President, you know, the other guy, and Vice President, the President Harris Teeter, the smartest guy I know.
I think Obama is the name you're looking for, sir.
Yeah, not a joke. When he was a lifeguard, Obama would rub my hairy legs in the pool. True story, not a joke.
I think that was Corn Pop. You remember the Corn Pop story?
Let's get this straight. Great cereal. When I was a truck driver in Illinois, she used to give me popcorns back when I was a senator. True story. She was 12 and I was 30, Jack. That was some ultra MAGA extremism on 9/11.
I remember that. So you were halfway through your first term. What are you most proud of?
Well, look, we've cut inflation and
No, you haven't.
enabled the war in Iraq with a guy.
Afghanistan, not the best moment.
We support the Jews now like never before in Iran.
Oh, that's bad.
Like Iran with their nuclear deal. And
Bad for Jews.
the
It's really
thing.
bad for Jews. Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
We took down fossil fuels and oils and station owners, things for inflation, and we did this stuff, man, you know, and that's what we're
The basis for
and
our
the border
our
with Canada is secure,
Okay.
which brings us wind farms from solar plants, an existential threat, not a joke.
Canada, don't you mean Mexico?
Yeah, our neighbors to the south, Jack. Let me get this straight. And I love that Mexican song and tacos, man. That song Desperado, the thing, Ricky Iglesias. You wait. I'm talking about brown people. This is important. I don't want to go yet. No. I have to go. MAGA ultra extremists. You know, come on, man.
Mr. President. Whoa. Mr. President, did he just fall asleep on us? I didn't even are you there, Mr. President? Is this a joke? I didn't even get to ask him about Hunter. I was going to ask him questions about his.
I never hunted her. Never met her hardly. Wonderful woman, very pretty, but believe all women. True story, Jack. Yeah, I'm there.
Okay.
You don't tell me that in China. I'll take it. Fewer, not more. Fewer, not more.
Good point, Mr. President. Thanks for joining. Please tell your wife hi for it.
I'll tell Joe she loves you. Hi, a true story. God bless and anyway.
Thank you for joining us, Mr. President. Wow, well, it was a really a treat. He joined us with his busy schedule of bragging about how they did. And clearly, you know, America voted for those policies in his incredible list of accomplishments, of which, you know, he named a few.
I got to tell you, man, myself personally, I have a connection to him because I feel a connection because obviously we're both Puerto Rican, but beyond that, we're both from Scranton, Pennsylvania originally. We're both from the same city. They even named the expressway of my hometown. It's now the Biden Expressway. I'll be heading up there tomorrow. But yeah, that's so he and I have a connection. And the thing point I'm bringing up is I don't believe him when he talks about this corn pop, because when I was growing up in Scranton, Pennsylvania, there were a certain number of black families, a certain number of Puerto Rican families. My family was the first Puerto Rican family that was there. It's a lot different now, you know, all these years on, but we all knew each other. And I can assure you, based on the age of the president, my age, if there was a corn pop, a black man called Corn Pop in Scranton, Pennsylvania, it would have been somebody's father or uncle of one of my friends. I would have known this person. And Corn Pop didn't exist, and that's why I have no faith in Biden.
maybe your relatives are corn pop.
Wait a minute. That's why you have no faith in Biden?
Well, that's just one of the reasons, but that's the main.
That's a great story. So what he's saying is he's saying there were limited black people when he was there. Biden's a good 30, 35 years older.
Right.
And you know the people that were showing up there when you were there, there was none. There were none.
Right. And I know, and my father was a professional boxer in the city. My father was
Yeah.
knew anybody that wasn't from that part of society. I mean,
Boxing's a
this
lower
corn
class.
pop would have certainly been known by my uncles who were in their 70s and 80s. Well, would certainly know of a corn pop
So you're
if he
telling
existed.
me that we have inside information on this podcast
Great point.
very, very unlike. This is a breaking scoop right now.
It's a really great
very,
point.
very unlikely because your family was tied into that part of the community as one of the few.
Absolutely.
Your dad was a boxer. Boxing is
Right.
considered a lower economic sport. You know, it's a
Right.
poor person sport, and you would have known through the black community if there was a corn pop that was a bad.
Absolutely. And I have even more stuff to back that up.
ahead.
My father's good friend was a man named James Williams. If you look him up, he was the powerlifting champion for some period of time. He had held the bench press world record. I grew up with his sons. He was a good friend of my father's. All these people, I could tell you all these old heads, old guys, some of them aren't even alive anymore. But up until these in the last few years, these corn pop stories, I know all the black people in Scranton. I know all the Puerto Ricans in Scranton, the ones that have been there for years and years. And nobody knows no corn pop, man. It's bullshit. I know a corn pop.
Yeah, no, the corn pop would be a legend. You know,
Absolutely.
That's a very,
That
very
name jumps out at you.
hell yeah. I was gonna name when I thought my wife was pregnant, I was thinking about naming my kid Corn Pop. That's a badass name. That
If
kid
it were real, I could see how that would be a dignified name, a friend of the president. But since it's false, I wouldn't do that.
Most people, people listen to you talk, be like, oh, this guy's crazy. But it's really solid what you're saying.
Jimmy,
I
you
mean,
have
that's
Oh,
true.
I'm dead
That's how those places are.
I'm
It
literally
goes
from
down
Scranton, Pennsylvania, yeah.
generation to generation, and people are just known.
It's
Yeah,
true,
I
man.
think you're on- I think
I
you're
grew up
onto
and
something.
raised there.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
no,
same-
he didn't exist.
yeah, my family in Silver Spring, they would know anybody from Silver Spring from about 40 years ago.
From that era.
From that era,
Right.
every family knew each other.
Yeah.
It was the way
And
the
there was like when I was growing up, man, there was like 5 black families, and my Puerto Rican family was the first. When we came in waves, I remember our family was here. I was born here. My father came, he was the fighter. He came with his brothers, the uncles. And then as they came afterwards, I remember like my family looked down. They didn't look down. We love each other, our cousins. But I remember like it was weird when our family that followed us by 10 years or so came, and I remember the cousins looking at them as being more primitive. Like, wow, they got flip-flops and stuff. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like there were we look down on them because having been there now for already a decade, we're kind of just starting to fit in with the
American
this-
vibe.
this town here. And then so it was almost like when our other cousins finally came, we looked down at them as being lesser.
It's
It
like
was
fresh.
weird. It's a weird dynamic. So we knew everybody though.
It
Everybody
felt-
knew everybody, and the blacks, yeah,
It's the way
blacks
they
and Puerto Ricans hang out. You know,
did you guys
there was
go-
no corn pop. That's the bottom line. There's no corn pop.